How do libertarians answer common criticisms? Imagine a world where everyone is free to make their own choices without unnecessary rules. That's what libertarians aim for. But many people have questions or doubts about this idea. Let's look at how libertarians respond to these common criticisms. One big criticism is that libertarianism is too focused on individual rights and ignores the importance of community and social bonds. Libertarians say recognizing individual rights does not mean ignoring community. They believe communities should be formed voluntarily, not through force or coercion. People can choose their friends, neighbors, and groups freely. This way, social ties are built on consent, respecting personal freedom while still allowing strong communities to develop. Another common concern is that libertarianism treats freedom as an absolute good, without considering its social or moral context. Libertarians agree that freedom is important, but they also say it should be balanced with responsibility. They argue that protecting individual liberty helps people pursue their goals, like creativity and learning. Limits on freedom are only justified if they prevent harm to others. For example, you can't harm someone else's property or person without consequences. Libertarians believe that freedom should be protected unless it causes harm. Some critics challenge the idea of self-ownership and property rights, saying it's based on shaky philosophical ideas about what the self really is. Libertarians respond that self-ownership means each person controls their own body and the results of their work. They see property rights as an extension of this idea. If you work on land or create something, you own it. Even if debates exist about the philosophy, libertarians see property rights as practical rules that support individual freedom and economic activity. Another criticism is that libertarianism can be confusing about what true liberty means. Critics say it sometimes mixes up liberty with license or power. Libertarians clarify that their core principle is non-aggression. That means you should not initiate force against others. Liberty is respecting others' rights, while license means doing whatever you want without regard for others. This distinction helps define how freedom works in real life, especially when it comes to property and personal interactions. Some worry that libertarian ideas could be misused by politicians or corporations to gain power. Libertarians admit this risk but emphasize that true libertarianism is about voluntary agreements and limited government. They believe that free markets and charity are better ways to help society than heavy-handed government programs. When people support each other voluntarily, it respects individual dignity and responsibility more than coercion. In practice, libertarians say society works best when people are free to make choices, form associations voluntarily, and participate in free markets. They argue this leads to more innovation, prosperity, and respect for personal rights than systems based on force or strict regulation. Overall, libertarians respond to criticisms by showing that their focus is on consent, individual rights, and voluntary cooperation. They recognize challenges but believe their principles offer the best way to promote human freedom and social harmony.